Hey everyone, it's me, Arthur Kade. Ruth Madoff in the flesh, almost in the flesh.
Wow. Yeah, I should have worn her glasses tonight. That would have even made me more Ruth-like.
Telling Ruth's story, Bernie and Ruth's story. I mean, we're talking about one of the most infamous criminal cases of all time, at least of our lifetimes. When you got into this as an actress, what was it like?
Well, I had the great opportunity to meet Ruth, which really did help a lot. I think when I went into it, I was very much on the fence as to whether she knew or whether she didn't know. Having met her, I was convinced that she didn't know. And I think the more we researched and delved into it, when you're married to a sociopath and you've been living with him, known him since you're 16, and in love with him, and a man who was very seductive to a lot of people, which is how he was so successful. The people that I met that knew him said he was incredibly down to earth and charming. You never would have dreamed that he would be
Bernie Madoff.
able to do such a thing. And
Does it change your perspective when you have that human connection to the subject as an actress? Does it change your perspective on the story you're telling?
I think so. I mean, I think as far as Bernie's concerned, you have to talk to Richard about that, because I think he's come down to he humanized him a lot, but I think he still feels that he was just an evil man.
That's what he told me.
Yeah. But I think with Ruth, it's different. I just think that she was not aware that he was, they were not allowed to go on the floor where all this happened. He was very secretive. I think he was hard on her to an extent. Even though he was a wonderful family man and loving, I think he was very strict about what he allowed and didn't allow. So you just didn't ask.
The simplicity of the crime is what's mind-blowing about it.
Yes.
We all know the public scandal, but when you dug into the simplicity of that crime, did it blow your mind? How did this guy get away with this for this many years?
Yeah, well, I mean, when you see the movie and you realize that it was really one phone call that wasn't made, that blew it open. I mean, that kept it from being blown open. It's pretty extraordinary. How people, I mean, he was so seductive that he really convinced the SEC that he was just fine. It was all above board.
When you look at the victims, because that's really the untold story here, now telling this story, does it bring more empathy to you internally to say, it's hard to believe this is what happened to people. It ruined lives.
Of course. I mean, you look at Elie Wiesel, you look at Steven Spielberg's foundation, that man could be so morally corrupt that he was taking funds away from people who were doing such good in the world, besides the people who just didn't have a place to live afterwards or eat. It's just horrendous.
I've got to ask you, right now the Oscars are coming up. Everybody's talking right now. There's issues, diversity issues.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on what's going on and what can be done to improve the process?
I think what they're doing is incredibly constructive, opening the membership to more people of color, to younger people. I mean, I did vote this year, and I'm proud to say I voted for 2 Afro-American men who I thought were extraordinary, and they were as first and second choice because I really felt they deserved that. My husband was the first man as producer of St. Elsewhere and The White Shadow television shows from yesteryear for helping minorities and women in our business. And when he died, Denzel Washington paid him a great tribute, saying that he let him out of every St. Elsewhere show to do the movies that he could do. Otherwise, he never would have had that chance. And he taught all the young men of color how to direct on those shows that are now successful directors. He just really believed in helping minorities and women, and I'm so proud of him for that. So he helped me in the way I think of helping now.
I've got to know who you voted for now.
I
guessing.
Can't tell you. There were at
I'm
least
dying to know if we have the same taste.
There were at least 3 or 4 men who were possible nominees. I'm not going to tell you, but I voted for 2 of them.